Hi Leo, this is your January 2022 spiritual reading. We're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, your first house, we have the 7th house. Second house, we have Mercury. Third house, we have Uranus. Fourth house, we have the Sun. Fifth house, we have Saturn. In your 6th house, we have Virgo. All right, bottom of the deck, we have Vesta. All right, so your first house, we have the 7th house. For some reason, some of you could have been in a marriage in the past that was very, very toxic, and it really affected the way that you view yourself. Like this person may have really put you down physically, and they used that as a way to control you. And some of you could have been very, very affected by that. Others of you could be someone who's where your identity is really connected to long-term connections. Like you jump from one connection to another, and it's like every time people see you, you have a partner. You're in some sort of relationship. But either way, in both of these stories, it feels like it's very important for you guys to really recognize just how beautiful you are. I feel like for whatever reason, it's like you either don't pay as much attention to yourself, or someone has convinced you that like you should be embarrassed or hide yourself, whereas it really feels like you guys are like gorgeous, and it shatters my heart that anyone could get in your head like that. So yeah, try to incorporate it in your day where you kind of just look at yourself in the mirror and become in awe of yourself. Truly see how beautiful that you are. There's something where it's like you need to empower yourself again, and it's very connected to your physical body. So if you guys want to cut your hair a certain way, you want to color it, you want to dress a certain way, whatever it is that feels good to you, do that. Don't let anyone make you feel like you shouldn't present yourself a certain way. We have the 10 of Cups. Yes, some of you, a long-term connection in a family is something that you've always known. Like from as long as you can remember, you've been in a connection after another. Some of you could be married, and it's like you're a mother, you're a wife. That's how you identify yourself. But it feels like if you were to like be alone for a week or a month, it would feel so unfamiliar to you, because you've kind of lost that connection with yourself. Like, who are you outside of your family, outside of relationships? It's good to reconnect with that side of you again. We have the 4 of Cups. Yeah, it feels like, and for others of you, like I was saying, it's like both of these stories, whichever one resonates. For others of you, it's like you're so beautiful. You're literally, people wish that they could look like you, that they could like be as effortlessly beautiful as you, but it's like you're not able to see it. You're not able to enjoy it and appreciate that in yourself. And again, it feels like someone, used this form of manipulation as a way to control you. And it's like you have to work on that, and you have to recognize what that person did is something a lot of people do in toxic relationships. It's a technique. It literally has nothing to do with you, and it's almost always used against like the most beautiful people. So yeah, it's, recognize that that person was using anything that they could find to control you, and that like nothing they said has any worth. And I don't know, whatever you need to do to reconnect with yourself and recognize your beauty, please do it, because I feel like it will be it will have a significant impact on your life. Your second house, we have Mercury. The second house for me is, in these readings, really is tied to your self-esteem. And for you guys, it feels like communication is very important for you. Some of you have so much knowledge, you have so much wisdom that people might tell you like, wow, you're so wise for your age, or you're so mature, or like you're so smart. There's something about you that when you have conversations with people, the way they react really helps boost your confidence. But it's interesting that it's your mind and your knowledge that gives you that self-esteem. I'm not saying your physical appearance is important in how confident you are, but it just feels like you guys are completely trying to find anything other than focusing on your appearance. And again, that's not a problem, but I do feel like a balance would be much healthier. It's like, know that you're beautiful and know that you're smart. Like, could you imagine how people are in awe of you? Like, this gorgeous human being is also like a genius, is so wise, so mature. That's a big part of you. That's a big part of people's impression of you, but I feel like that you don't realize. So yeah, keep that in mind. All right, so your third house, we have Uranus, and we have, the third house is also your communication in your mind. It's ruled by Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. So you guys, again, it feels like you have this innate wisdom. You think differently than most people do. You think very outside of the box, and Uranus is the genius, like a divine genius, and it feels like you guys really do embody that energy where, like, people love to hear you speak. And if you haven't tapped into that energy, it's like, you have so much wisdom within you. You have so much that you can share. And if you haven't done that yet, it does feel like that's a big part of your journey. So the more that you're able to communicate and talk about these stuff that you're very passionate about, again, that you have this innate wisdom about, it feels like it's, I don't know, not only do you feel very confident, and that's, a way that you realize, wow, I am very drastically different, and maybe this wisdom that I have, I'm meant to use to help change and help heal the collective. I don't know, I just feel I see you guys standing in front of like a significant group of people speaking and teaching, and if you feel drawn to that, if that like gives you the chills or resonates with you, that is a big part of your destiny, to share this innate genius that you have, this wisdom that you have. All right, so your fourth house, we have the sun, which is interesting because the bottom of the deck we have Vesta, which is like the hearth, the fire, the warmth in a home, what makes a house a home. And it feels like for you guys, your home is your safety. It's somewhere that you're able to go and recharge, and you're able to, it's a very healing place for you. And so it's very important for you guys to not just let anyone into your home. If someone has a very low vibration, very toxic energy, don't invite them over. And this feels like a very serious matter, because if your sun, if the sun is showing up in your 4th house, that's it's like your soul needs your house to be your safe place. And it's important that you don't, and it not only not letting people in, but like don't watch low vibration movies in your house, or it's like be very mindful of energy from all aspects, whether it's from people, how you decorate your house, the kind of movies you have on, the kind of music you have on. They all have a drastic effect on your energy and your home's energy. So it's important for you guys to be very mindful of what you let in to your house, because in a way it feels like it's what you're letting into your life, and it has a very deep connection to your own frequency. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Some of you, there are certain friends of yours that you need to cut out, that just aren't serving you. They don't have your best interests at heart. They don't have, they might be envious of you, and their envy makes them wish, you didn't have what you have and they had it. Some people that you may be hanging around, that you may be inviting into your home, you have to either cut them off or don't invite them over anymore. Don't invite them into the safe place of yours. Again, it feels like your soul is very, very deeply tied to your home. So you guys, more than others, have to be extremely mindful of who you're allowing in. And I know it can seem harsh, but you have to put yourself first. You have to put your own frequency at first. Because you guys, Leos, I get this for you guys in all of your spiritual readings. You guys are here for a very significant reason, right? You are ruled by the sun for a reason. You shine. You're greater than life. And for some of you, like your 1st house, I was saying, it's like you don't even recognize just how majestic that you are and how people view you in this. It's like you have this greater than life aura about you. And it's because you're meant to draw people in and make them want to listen, so you can share your teachings and share your wisdom with them. But you have to, that's why you guys have to be extra careful not to allow people in your life that dampen your energy and that make it hard for you to remain aligned to your higher self. All right, and if this resonates with you, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Like, this person would have popped up in your head by now. You've always felt something was off about them, but it's like you didn't want to be rude. They were part of your friend group, so you didn't want to cause issues and lose everyone. But again, it feels very important for you guys to distance yourself a little bit from certain people, and know that once you walk away from what isn't for you and what doesn't serve you, what is meant for you will find you, will come into your life. You just have to make sure that you have room. You've cleared space for these new friends, this new community to come in for you. All right, so your 5th house, we have Saturn. Again, for some of you, your relationship life has been very, very difficult. That's where you learn most of your lessons. That's where you experience the most difficulties in life, it feels like. And again, it kind of resonates with what we were talking about in the beginning. You might, whether it's now or when you were younger, you attracted a lot of toxic people, a lot of gaslighters, very controlling, try to put you down, try to make you feel bad about yourself so you wouldn't leave them. It just feels like a lot of toxic energy. Let's see. Yeah, it's a lot of gaslighting, a lot of lies. Like you never knew what you were getting every single day. It's like they gave you this, they would pretend to be this person when you guys were around your friends and around your family. So it's like everyone thought they were great and perfect. And that messed with your head a lot, because when you two were alone, this person wasn't who they were presenting themselves to the world. And it feels like your dating life, again, you've already gone through this significant period where it's just a bunch of lessons right after another, a bunch of really difficult experiences that were all meant to, I don't want to say it's like you had to go through that, but it was like part of the lessons that your soul came here to learn. You know, Saturn is like that father, that strict father, where, you know, they are very strict and their lessons are very harsh at times, but at the end of the day, they have your best interest at heart. And it feels like for those of you who have come out of this, it's like you're able to look back and see how much you grew, how much you learned from all of those experiences. This doesn't mean if you're in a toxic relationship that you should stay. If anything, possibly the lesson for most of you is to learn to walk away. To learn to walk away once you know someone isn't right for you, isn't treating you the way you deserve to be treated, isn't aligned with you. Feels like you guys might even have this kind of experience with your friends where you stay too long. Where you should have left right from the start, you stayed for years and years. And it's really trust your intuition here. If you're still in this kind of energy, it feels like you're presented with people who at first pretend to be something and they're completely something else. But always intuitively, you're able to feel their energy. So learn to trust your intuition when it comes to friends and your dating life. We have Temperance. Again, it feels like these are lessons that are meant to help heal you, help teach you, help your soul expand. To connect you to yourself, to your higher self. Again, it feels like trusting your intuition is a big lesson that some of you are meant to learn, and also learning when to walk away and when to cut people off. Don't feel guilty. A form of self-love is protecting your energy, protecting your frequency, protecting that child within you. And it feels like, you guys have to be, some of you have to do like a significant spring cleaning when it comes to your friends and the people that you're dating. And it feels like once you learn that lesson, once you really start trusting your intuition immediately and you start being much more selective and making boundaries, it's like the kind of people that you start attracting are now completely different. With Saturn here, this might even be a significant lesson that you experience around the age of like 28 to 30 with your Saturn return. And then it's like you start to learn from it and you free yourself from that cycle. All right, 6th house, we have Virgo, and Virgo is the ruler of the 6th house. Your day-to-day activities, for some of you, even your health, it feels like your mind is directly connected to your health. So whenever you find yourself feeling tired or like getting sick, start being mindful of like, what are my thoughts right now? What is my energy right now? Is it because it really might be that when you guys are around people who aren't good for you, even your body shows it to you. Like your body will reject these people. Once you're around them, you feel icky and sick, like physically you feel sick afterwards. So this does feel like a very, very significant lesson that you guys are meant to learn. To be able to catch, when someone isn't aligned with you and when someone their energy is working against yours and is dragging you down, and it feels like it's such an important lesson for you that you're meant to learn, that your intuition goes off, but also your body shows you. Your body starts showing symptoms, like telling you, hey, no, we don't like this person, they make us feel sick, cut them off. And your lesson is to learn to cut them off right then and there. Yeah, it does feel like that's just for whoever this reading resonates with, that's a significant lesson that you're meant to learn, and something you're meant to work on. Being much more mindful and creating very firm boundaries for yourself. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant and Strength. So it's interesting that Saturn would be in your 5th house here. So once you're able to learn all those lessons and free yourself from that cycle, it feels like who you actually end up marrying, and remember, it's not who you end up marrying because you don't create boundaries and because you're scared to walk away. It's once you've healed from that and learned those lessons and found your strength, then the person you marry is actually one of the best relationships that anyone can experience in this life. So it's like there's a reward for you after, once you learn those lessons. And it feels like whoever you're in this connection with, you guys are a power couple. And maybe that's why in the beginning I was saying, like, a lot of you might attach your identity to some, a long-term relationship or a marriage. And it may not even be toxic, because you and this person are that power couple where together you're stronger, together you are more powerful, and you protect each other, you bring out the best in each other. So it's like there is something very, very beautiful to look forward to. And it's like while you're going through this healing and doing that difficult work of like cutting people off, even if that means losing friends, it will all be worth it, because it's all empowering you and it's all aligning you to a relationship that's it seems very, very incredible, very supportive, again, very powerful. All right, Leo, let's see. All right, we have number 29, Samadhi, perfect acceptance. It feels like, again, for a lot of you, like I was saying, around 29 is when this lesson might come to you, but it's very important for you to learn to accept and love yourself. Whereas it might, like, something you may have experienced in life is like people putting you down. Even, when someone's like really, really beautiful, people who are envious tell them that they're ugly and try to make them feel bad about themselves. And if you have been through those experiences, it's a big lesson for you to learn is to learn to love yourself and to see the beauty in yourself. And if you're carrying around all of those experiences and all of those things people would say to you, it's time to release them. And one way that will help you release them is to understand why it happened in the first place, and to understand that, when people are hurting and if they feel so bad about themselves, they want everyone else to feel the same way, especially people who, like, they see as beautiful. So yeah, for some of you with that first house we were talking about, it's very important for you guys to learn to love yourself and see how beautiful you are, and remember your divinity, and get rid of anyone who makes you feel any less. All right, Leo, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.